What's up guys, welcome back to the videos. Obviously we are here at the shop and I've got some updates, and obviously if you saw the description of the video, we are going to be painting the cages. But first, let's jump into some updates. First update, huge news. I got notice back from the engine builder. Today is Saturday the 25th. 2 weeks from yesterday, which was Friday, the engine will be back. So the engine will be back. We'll be able to start putting that back in the car, and then we can start having some more GTR content. Let's see, other updates. I ordered a bunch of stuff for the GTR. I've got a bunch of stuff coming. You know, just gaskets, and like I have the old gaskets here for the rocker covers, but I ordered a bunch of brand new gasket rebuild kit. Let's see, what else? Oh, I did this. So today's video is all about painting and installing the cage. We're hoping that the paint will dry and we can put the cage in today. That's the hope. I'm thinking that's gonna happen, but I did do some pre-painting. Anyways, one of the things that I wanted to do was, if you guys obviously know, the paint scheme on the GTR is kind of top secret gold. So what I did was I had some free time and I wanted to paint something that goes with the car. So I painted, so I painted, these are the HKS Intakes. And let me go grab one of the intakes so you guys can get an idea. And these are the standard HKS mushroom intakes, but essentially what I did was I painted the actual metal pieces gold. So, well, they call it sunlit brass, which I don't know about you guys, but that looks pretty fucking gold to me. So this is what it will look like. Obviously this will go down on there, but that is something that I wanted to do and I've been wanting to do, but I couldn't find the right gold color because I dropped the filter on the ground. I couldn't find the right gold color, and I finally was at the store buying paint for the cage, and yeah, I found the right color. So I was like, well, all right, let's buy that. So essentially what we're gonna do is we're waiting on Shane to get here. I will apologize beforehand. The audio in this video is probably gonna suck because we're gonna have the cooler on and fans. So the audio is not gonna be that great. It's not gonna sound that wonderful. But the first thing that I did, but once we get to that point, I apologize. So it's like supposed to be 110 today in Phoenix. So we're gonna be sweating. It's already like 9 o'clock, 9:30. So, and it's already over 100. So the fans are gonna be going. The audio is gonna suck. There's gonna be a lot of time lapses because we have the cage right there. Yeah, so, all right, let's get started. All right, so one of the first things that I did was, as you can see in here, there are no seats. There are no back seats. All right, so there's the two seats. There is all the reverse or back seat seat belts. I took these out yesterday. I didn't want to film it because it was, dude, if you guys would have watched me film that, it would have been so boring and nobody would have wanted to watch it, but it was really bad. Like, so when you get in here, right, and you're gonna actually pull these out, let me show you guys. These panels right here on the sides have to come out, and then there's a bolt back behind there. And in the middle one, there's a bolt underneath the deck, and it is absolutely a nightmare to get to. And I'm not kidding you guys when I say that it probably took me a good hour and a half. Maybe an hour, but it took me an hour to get all these belts out. The seats were super easy, obviously 4 bolts. So it took a while for me to get that out, and it was kind of like a pain in the A. We also got on the sunshade, which I guess that pretty much gives away the color. We got the sunshade on. What else did we get on? We also put on our driver stickers. So you guys got to keep in mind, that this whole car is getting wrapped. So the color that it is really not what the car is gonna look like. So yeah, it's gonna be a full wrap. The whole car is gonna get wrapped. So, but right now we kind of got it where we want. Obviously today we're gonna work on the cage and see if we can get the cage mounted after we paint it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get the cage set up on the horses, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up and we'll time lapse this bad boy out. Shane's on his way here. Once he gets here, we'll start mocking the cage up. It should be dry by then. It's hot enough out. This paint should dry really quick. So we'll go ahead and throw it up on the horse, get it painted, and then once it's here, then we'll start mocking it up into the car. We should be able to get it installed. Hopefully the paint dries. It should. It's super hot out. So I'm gonna set up the camera. Let's get this time lapse going. All right, guys, so we got the first coat on. Oh my God, it's bright out. We got the first coat on this side. So we're gonna go ahead and let that dry, make sure there's no other spots that need to be hit. So let's take a look at it. Obviously, the color that we're doing is pink. Oh my God. But yeah, so there's the first coat. Give you guys a nice close look as I knock one of the freaking stands over. So we're gonna go ahead and let this sit. We gotta paint the two legs, so we're gonna go ahead and paint the legs while we're waiting, because if any overspray isn't really gonna be a big deal. So there you guys go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get this leg that I'm holding up and the other one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get those painted, and then we should be able to let this sit for about 40 minutes, flip it over, and get the last paint on it. Hopefully the paint looks even and we don't have to do any more, but we'll see. All right, let's go. All right, guys, so I got the second coat on the cage. I flipped it. Obviously you saw in the time lapse I flipped it. I was able to actually get another coat on. So what we're gonna do is it takes about an hour for that to dry to touch. So I'm gonna let that sit for an hour, and then once it's done, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll try to see if we can actually get it mocked up in the car. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I'm hoping that we can. I've got the legs done here too as well. So I'm hoping that we can get it in the car today. That's the hope, to get it bolted in. We're gonna have to drill some holes for this cage, because the holes that are in it don't actually line up with the old cage holes. So we're gonna let that sit. We'll take a look at it here in about an hour and see if it's good. If there's some spots that need to be go over, I'll go over them again and we'll let it sit. But I think we're pretty good. I got some pretty good coverage, so we'll see. But let's go ahead and wait, and I guess that's all we can do. All right, guys, so we are actually going to, you're gonna see that we're technically the next day. Obviously it's gonna be 24 hours for us, but it will be literally instantaneous. We are gonna wait to put the cage in. We're letting it dry 24 hours just to be safe, because we don't want pink paint on the headrest or anything like that, the headliner. So right now, it's gonna be a day for us, but instantaneous for you. So we'll see you guys when we come back tomorrow. All right, and we're all right, guys, we are back. It's day 2. I am actually going to check the cage. The cage is completely dry and to the touch, so we are nice and dry. But the first thing we're gonna do, because I'm waiting on Shane to get here to help me put this in and mock it up. I did a little kind of fun side project. We painted the tow hooks. So we're gonna get this together, get these back on the car. One of these is incredibly complicated tow hook, which was really interesting. But we're gonna go ahead and get these back on the car, and then as soon as Shane gets here, we'll start putting the cage in. So let's do that. All right, guys, so we are about to, first thing we're gonna do, Shane's here. First thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna hop in the back with the cage, get the cage in and get it mocked up, because I need to actually mark where the holes are gonna be on the bottom portion of the car. And here's the problem. These holes here that are on the old, were for the old cage, actually don't line up at all. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to make new holes. The other thing is, I apologize for the shitty sound quality because it's hot as shit here in Arizona and we have like 9 fans on. So, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the cage in and we're gonna try to mock it up and see if we can actually get at least the main hoop bolted in before we do the last part. So let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, so I drilled that side. I don't know if you saw it because Shane's butt was in the way of the time lapse, but we got that side drilled. We're gonna drill this side, and then once we get that done, we can mock in the main hoop, and then we're gonna have to pull the tires off and we'll drill the back plates and then basically bolt this bitch in. I mean, this is actually going way faster than what I thought it was. So we had to pull some of the carpet up, unfortunately, so we could actually see where the plate's gonna sit. But, oh, hey, just found a quarter. Hey. What we're gonna do is we'll go ahead and get these drilled. We'll pull the back tires off, and then it's just bolting it in. So let's do it. All right, guys, so we got the holes drilled on the back portion of the arms and the main hoop. Everything's drilled up, but we can't actually bolt in the cage because I don't have a breaker set for these. So now, basically what we have to do is we gotta go down to an Ace Hardware and get a socket so we can pull the rear tires off. Once we get the rear tires off, then we can bolt the whole damn cage in. But until now, we're stuck because we can't get the rear tires off because I don't have a deep socket set here. We have one at my dad's house, but not here at the shop. So we're gonna go get a deep socket, see if we can get the rear wheels off, and come back and get this thing finished up, be done. I mean, it'll be in. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Update. As you can see, I have the jack fucking bar, using it as a breaker bar because we don't have a breaker bar here. All the good tools are at my dad's house, which is really not good for us. So I'm using this as a breaker bar to break these off because whoever torqued these, torqued the hell out of these things. So we've got them mostly broken. I'm just making sure that I don't scratch the rim here.
There we go. That's the last one. As you can see, guys, here on my channel, we do things really the wrong way. All right. Stopping the time lapse. Like again, my dad has all the good stuff. The impact gun is at my dad's house. Well, ask me how many times in the comments my dad's used the impact gun at his house. Yeah. Alright guys, here's how we're doing it. Old school style. Do the one on the, by the solo dolo.
Yep, we're doing solo.
Yep. Shane's under the car. Look at it. Working hard.
I'm just gonna tighten this one.
We have a roll cage. She is bolted in. All the bolt points are bolted down and snug. Take a look, boys and girls. There she is in all her glory. Bolted to the floor, bolted to the back portion here. Boom, shaka laka. Yes. Got it? Yeah. Okay. God, this thing sounds so good. I hate to have to put a stupid muffler in this thing to make it quiet. All right, safety first, seatbelts. AC absolutely cranky. Yep, okay. Oh, turn signal on. Just in case you guys were wondering, we were turning. All right. So what we're gonna do here is obviously we have the cage. So we're gonna pull her out. We're just gonna give her a little, maybe a couple rippers back here. We don't have a ton of room. So where our shop is, there is gates, and the gates are currently closed. So we don't have a ton of room. So woo! 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 That kicked in pretty good. Manual focus.
I think it's been a manual this time.
This clutch is insane in this, by the way, guys. Scared yet?
That's something.
Seems good. All right, so and then that's gonna do it for today's video. If you guys are enjoying the content, if you're enjoying this build, if you're looking forward to the R32 build, which I gave you guys an update at the beginning of the video. We're gonna have the engine back real soon. We just ordered a new parts for the car, for the R32. So hopefully here soon, we're hoping that the engine will be back and we'll get some content there. But if you guys are enjoying the videos, please, please, please hit the like, hit the subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. It helps me keep doing these builds and have some fun. And we've got a lot more content coming, especially with this car, with racing and a bunch of parts coming. So with that, guys, deuces. I'll see you next time.